Hi, welcome back. Well, we have Tim Moy, Chief of Security, who is going to talk to us about decals, golf carts.
Right.
We've got a lot of things to talk
Gate
about regarding
access
these gate
as
access.
well. Yeah,
Okay.
got a lot going on there.
Well, what do you have for us?
Well, first of all, we're still on track for the gate arms to be installed at 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
And then 7, 8, 9, and 14.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, as you can imagine, there's a lot of planning. The engineers have got to do their part. You've got to get the permits. And this is under the direction of our maintenance director, Ernesto Munoz.
Right. Mm-hmm.
His team is on it, and we're hoping to break ground August, September, and start moving forward with those gates.
Right, right, okay.
And so that's going to take, obviously a lot of work, and we want to make sure it does not disrupt the traffic flow.
Mm-hmm.
Installing 8 gate arms, at those entrances, we'll split them up between, the 8 of them, and so that we're not completely blocking or slowing traffic in a certain area of the community.
Right, now, if someone couldn't get through one of the gates, can they always go through another one?
Right, of course,
Yeah.
and that's what we'll work out. So
Okay.
if we're working on one, gate 1, we'll make sure that 2 and 3 are
Okay.
available. Same thing with 7, or 8, depending on the plan. But we've got a plan in place. We'll be working with the city, with the sheriff's department, with fire. We certainly don't want to slow their ability to get into the village in the
Right.
event of emergency. So that'll be coming, and then when it does, when we get that plan in place, of course we'll get that out to the community. So everybody knows, hey, here's which ones we're starting first, here's the time frame. And so then they'll expect to just have to maybe reroute.
Right.
And go a different direction for a few weeks or what have you until
Right.
One gate is completed, and then we move on to the next.
But it's not just the arms. I mean, it's like a whole remodel on some of these
It
houses.
is, right. And we've been remodeling the gatehouses themselves, a little bit outdated, just we're trying to make them a little bit more presentable, clean them up. But also we have the surveillance
Right.
cameras so that when somebody is going in or leaving, we're capturing a lot of data on them, not to be Big Brother again, but
Right.
just to keep our community safe. And in the event
Exactly.
there is something going on, we can conduct some follow-up, try to identify those vehicles, but potentially the drivers, where they're going, what
Right.
have you. We've had a few incidents with a missing person where we were able to use our cameras to try to track when did they come in, at what point did they leave,
Right.
and to turn that over to the sheriff's department.
Right, and
as
then I
well.
think also last time you were here, you were talking a little about people who were stealing IDs and things, so.
Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate, and we'll get to a little bit of that.
Okay.
But we've got, this is a small city,
Yeah.
and we are 90% of Laguna Woods, the city of Laguna Woods.
Right.
So we're going to see some crime, minor as it is, but we still have to keep an eye on that. So there's thefts and other minor issues that do occur.
Right.
That is going to help us with that. If when we have those, whether they're guests, workers, family members, they're coming in and they're going through our carports and they're committing some minor thefts or
Right.
other crimes. When they leave, we'll be able to use those cameras to identify the vehicle and license plate and conduct a follow-up investigation. It's not that I look forward to it, but I look forward to the fact that when those are in place, it'll give us another tool, investigative tool, to work very closely with the sheriff's department on that. And we've been in communication with them. The sheriff investigator is highly engaged here, and so he knows that's going to be a tool for us. And he even asks when we're conducting investigations, hey, is there the chance that they use 5 or 6? And so that conversation's already taken place.
Okay.
It'll be nice to say, was he in a vehicle, he or she in a vehicle? Why did I say he? I don't know.
I don't know, that's assuming.
We're just assuming it's a...
Well, you're a little more,
Very-
experienced in
sure,
this than
there
most
you go.
of us.
Well,
so.
most of the time they are, man.
Yeah.
But we'll be able to go right to it and look at that. Now, I've also, I think, spoken in the past in reference to illegal occupants and
Right.
some of the administrative issues here that those gate arms and those cameras will assist us on.
Right.
Illegal occupancy is a problem here. And
Wow.
so we want to be able to enforce our rules. And, if all the folks who have gone through the proper means of being members and they're paying their amenities, We just want to spread that to those who are not, and
Right.
make sure that they go through the proper process and,
Right.
and are qualified to live here.
Right.
We want this to be an exclusive community, which it is,
Right.
but to tighten it up a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, people should be very happy about the assets that they're getting when they move in here, and
Correct.
security being one of them and top priority.
Absolutely.
Good.
Sure.
All right. Well, what else
Yeah.
do you have?
Well, on gate 5 and 6, it's still going pretty well. You know, initially there was a it took some time for our residents to get used to those arms. So, you know, a little bit of a
Right.
delay, and then there was the merging issue. It seems like we've gotten past that. It's just showing common courtesy to
Right.
the person in the next lane. But one of the questions that has come up recently is we've had residents who, for whatever reason, don't have a RFID,
Okay.
and they still go through that far lane, and they hold up their GRF ID card
Okay.
and expect to immediately be popped up. Well, that's not what those lanes are designed for.
Okay.
Those lanes are designed for vehicles with an RFID.
Okay.
And so if you want to come through without a decal on your vehicle, maybe you have a rental or you're with a friend, what
Okay.
have you, you've got to go through that guest lane.
Okay.
And so, but my recommendation is for those residents who do not have a RFID, get down to Resident Services
Right.
and get one on your vehicle.
Okay.
Because those gates are coming, and it'll be here sooner than you think.
Right,
Right.
right. I mean, what does the security person do when they are in the far lane? I mean, that's going to cause quite a backup, right?
It can, especially if they're helping a guest in the guest lane, and so they may not always see that person, so that vehicle is just stopped. So it's going to be a delay.
Right.
So we would just assume that, hey, make it easier on yourself, get that RFID, come on through, and then it's nice and easy access.
Right. Okay. All right. Excellent.
Yeah.
And then some interesting things going on with golf cart registration.
Right, right. Now, again, talking about security and wanting to be able to track our vehicles and our assets in the community, golf carts being one of them. People have asked, you know, one, how many golf carts do we even have in here? Well, we've got about just over 1,300 golf carts, so that's quite a bit. And so for security purposes, we're going to ask that every golf cart receive their own decal, not the GRF decal, but the, I'm not sure if it's on there, it is. It'll be,
Oh, there it is.
That'll be on the left front corner of
Okay.
the golf cart, and everyone will, each golf cart will need to be registered.
Okay. And why are you wanting to register them?
Right, and so that the question might be, it's kind of redundant, why would you have a golf cart decal when you also have a GRF decal? Well, we're going to be phasing out our GRF decals. So once all those gate arms go into place, you won't need to have that GRF decal. They'll just be using RFIDs. Not all golf carts will require the RFIDs. Some stay within the community. So we want every one of these to be registered. You know, gives security an opportunity to get out there and enforce the rules if a golf cart is illegally parked. There's another piece of this as well, and it has to do with shared electricity in the village. And you see this right here, United and Third Mutual. If you are part of the shared electricity, where you're charging your golf cart in a carport and you're paying for that, we want to make sure that you are properly identified, and that's what each golf cart will have that on the right rear bumper. So if security, or maybe it's a resident, is walking through the carport, you know, they've just parked their vehicle and they see a golf cart that they're not familiar with, it doesn't have that decal, but it's being charged, they know that somebody is illegally charging, they can give us a call.
Okay.
Now, we're not looking for people to just be calling on every little violation, but, you know, again, it's all about fairness and
Right.
paying for the services that you're using.
Right.
And for security, we drive by, we look, a golf cart's plugged in, we know that one's good to go.
Okay.
If it's got the decal. If it
Right.
doesn't have the decal,
Right.
well, probably going to slap a citation on it, and that fine's going to be pretty hefty as
Oh,
well.
wow.
So the mutuals are very serious about this shared electricity. Everybody paying what they're using.
Exactly.
I think that's fair.
Exactly. All right. That makes sense.
Right.
You know, if you've got a cart, you've got to be able to make sure you do what you're supposed to be doing.
Well,
with it, right?
absolutely, yeah. And that shared electricity, again, not everybody uses it. So some folks have, they garage their golf carts,
Right.
but in those mutuals where they're using the carports and they have to charge their golf carts there, they've got to pay an additional fee.
Exactly.
Right.
All right. Okay, good. And then we've got, well, we talked about the decals. So in addition, what else is going on with stickers for golf carts? We talked about the electricity.
Yep,
so
that's it. So we're
that
good.
was it. Okay, so we're
Right.
good on the golf carts.
Right. I think we're good. So resident services, and they're leading this charge here. They're doing a great job with it. They'll be sending out letters to all golf cart owners and to register your vehicle, your golf cart
okay.
by the end of June.
Okay.
Come July, we're going to be out there looking and citing.
Right.
Now, we'll see how that all plays out
Right.
and how many are actually registered. But
Okay.
we'd like to encourage our residents to come in, get that golf cart decal. If you're sharing electricity, get that additional decal. And then there's going to be one more piece of it. If you're golfing, they'll have their own one. I know it seems like we're putting a lot of decals
Yeah.
on
For
the
different
golf
things.
carts,
They're
but they are for
things.
different
Right.
things. Exactly.
Right.
Right.
Now, see something, say something we've talked about before. Do we
Right.
have some additional things that have happened?
We do.
Okay.
So we're always encouraging our residents. You got to give us a call when you see something out of the ordinary, whether maybe it's a transient coming through, maybe it's a relative or a guest who is unaccompanied with a resident, and they're just kind of walking around. We want to know what they're doing, and we have had some minor thefts. Again, being the size of this community, not everybody is law-abiding, and I know some have said, "Oh, it's those outsiders, it's the transients coming in."
Not
We have
necessarily.
found that a lot of them, unfortunately, are some family members, some kids. Maybe they've gotten out of jail. They need a place to stay. They're coming in here, but they've got some bad habits,
Right.
and they tend to go out at night and start looking around. We're doing our best to identify them,
Right.
but we can't be everywhere at once.
Right.
And so, just most recently, we did have we've had a few thefts involving mailboxes.
Right. Right. And a few, not just one or two,
Correct.
but a couple.
Right,
Okay.
and so they're coming in and they're going into the underground area where the mailboxes are located, and there's been some mailboxes that have been pried open, and you're thinking, why are they going to go after mailboxes? What can be in the United States, mail? Quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And the identity thieves are looking to obtain your personal identification.
Right.
And or they're looking for credit cards, or they're looking for anything, cash or what have you, or checks that they
Yeah.
can try to sign your name to it and cash them. So there's it's a concern. We're working with the Sheriff's Department. We're doing some other things to maintain high visibility patrol out in the community. So we're going to do our part with security and with law enforcement. And we're just asking our residents to be vigilant as well. So something doesn't look right, please give us a call.
So if you look at some of these boxes on the screen, we've got, you said they're underground. So is there no security cameras or anything under there?
No, not where those are located. And so there's some things we'll look at.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have cameras everywhere.
I know.
And this is something that's been pretty random, but you can see that they've been
How
opened
are
up.
they getting in them?
Oh, well, there was some concern, hey, do they have a key? They don't have a key. They're prying them open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so we'll be working with the post office, or the U.S. Postal Agency, or whatever the federal agency is, to look at securing these better as well.
Okay.
Make it more difficult for them to get in. So there's a few different approaches that we're going to take on this. Now that it's become an issue here.
Yeah. Well, and it isn't just here in Laguna Woods; it's everywhere. I mean,
That's
it doesn't matter
right.
where you are. Even if you had an open box and most people are looking around, it doesn't matter because identity theft is everywhere.
Right. And so we've got these, we've got the gate access, and we've got the walls and the barbed wire. We're looking at shepherd's crooks, and so I know that village management with our boards, with GRF, everyone's doing their part. To the best of our abilities to secure this community, keep it as safe as possible.
Right.
And if our residents can give us a hand with that as well, we will keep it just that.
Right.
I always like to say it is a safe community. And,
Oh, yeah.
There are minor things that occur. We also have, every once in a while, a theft occur from maybe a unlocked vehicle.
Right.
Have there been some break-ins? There have been.
Yeah.
But I think we have a photo here of a vehicle. I'm not sure if they can put that on. that's a vehicle that was parked and it was unlocked, and somebody really went through. I mean, that was a ransacking.
That's a lot
there.
of stuff.
That is a lot of stuff. So again, lock up your vehicles, lock up your cabinets. If you can't if it's valuable, get it out of your vehicle.
Right.
If you have valuables in your carport cabinets, they probably shouldn't be there.
Okay.
You know, all it is a padlock, and that's pretty easy to pry open at times as well. So keep your valuables in a place where people can't get to them.
Right.
And so if everyone's doing their part, we try to do our part, and we'll keep this a safe community.
And like you said, see something, say something. Don't
see
be
something,
afraid to call.
say something. Yeah. Right. And I tell you, we have so many people that say, oh, I just wasn't sure. That's okay. If you're not sure, call us.
Right.
And we'll go out and take a look. Or, boy, that person's no longer in view. I don't know where they went. That's okay. Maybe they could still be in the area. And if we go and patrol check that community, that area, those cul-de-sacs, and we can't find anybody, it was still worth our time.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Well, good. Well, thank you for the update.
Absolutely.
All good. Glad you guys are on it.
We are.
Good.
And again, we'll do our part. We'll be vigilant, and hopefully we'll. Sometimes you got to create your own luck as well. Yeah. And it's just being at the right place at the right time.
Exactly.
So we're trying to set that up.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
All right. And don't forget to see something or say something, and everybody be vigilant out there. We'll be right back after this.